Hello, this is Brian Resney, President of Resney Wealth Management, bringing you an important update about the economy and the investment markets. We're firmly in May, and as the rhetoric continues with Iran and oil's back and forth, oil's of course down, and there's rhetoric maybe that there's a deal going to happen or maybe not a deal. What's most interesting to me as a money manager is we've talked about this a couple months ago when this war or conflict actually started. And I said that this will really be a non-event at the end of the day. Whether this lasts for 2 weeks or 3 months, nobody really knows. Something eventually will get resolved and solved. Oil prices will come down, but we don't see any really bad results from this, generally speaking, with the economy for the U.S. Other parts of the world are going to be somewhat negatively affected for some time, but those will come back also. Most interesting is I look at earnings that are coming out right now. We have probably one of the best earnings seasons that we've had in over 20 years for the U.S. markets. I go back 3 weeks ago and I started hearing Wall Street firms saying, oh, we might have a recession because of oil. Again, we're not seeing any signs of recession. We are not positioning for a recession. So rest assured, we most likely will not have a recession this year again. But again, Wall Street's wrong all the time. But they're calling for a recession 2-3 weeks ago. But if you look at companies in the U.S., companies you own, we own in your managed accounts, are blowing it out of the door. Their earnings are coming in the best we've seen in over 20 years. These are crazy important aspects to look at when you look at money management. How are companies doing? Are they making the same money, less money, more money? They're making more money, but they're making more money by a lot. While your portfolio hasn't done exceptionally well with our firm over the years, this year we're off to, again, another great start. We had a little bump in the road because of the Iran conflict, but things are at a new high ground. One of the areas that we talked about earlier in the year that we've owned actually for a number of years is the semiconductor industry. It's our biggest weighting of any sector. And it's the number one sector again this year in the overall S&P 500 and in your portfolio. I'm glad to say my team is doing an exceptional job on research, making portfolio adjustments when we need to. And again, the important thing is when we need to. We're not making changes just to make changes. Sometimes what we own, we could own for an extended period of time or short. If there's better opportunities out there, they make sense financially in your portfolio, rest assured it may show up in your portfolio. But we're looking at the U.S. economy. I look at the rest of the world economy. We are the most vibrant economy. We are U.S.-centric invested. I do not plan at this point in time to go outside the U.S. for any particular reason because the U.S. economy is doing so exceptionally good. When this Iran conflict is eventually settled, oil prices will certainly come down. And again, I am still looking for $50 barrel prices, maybe by the end of the year if this gets resolved properly. But I think sometime, certainly as we get into 27, we could easily see $50 oil prices with Venezuela, Iran back online. The rest of the world will ignite with growth. We'll even do better on growth. So we see the U.S. economy continuing on a glide path up. Bumps in the road. Remember, folks, 6 steps up, 2 steps back. We're an active portfolio manager, making changes when necessary. Remember, Iran will be settled one of these days. Who knows when? But rest assured, the U.S. economy is on the right path. Your portfolio, we will do what's necessary. And as always, if you have questions about your money, give the office a call. If you have friends and family who would like to see the same kind of treatment with their portfolio, we always appreciate your referrals. And remember, even though your friends may not have the size portfolio for our minimum, we make exceptions for referrals like you. So keep that in mind. And make sure you pass this video on to your friends and family so they can get the same high quality education you're receiving every other week in your inbox. Have yourself a safe and profitable day.